What is our basic training format? You have 30 seconds to write it down. Just a few words. What is our basic training format? So you start with some information. Now, there's different ways of doing it, but let's just do the very basic. Sometimes we start with an exercise. Sometimes we start with a game. But we're going to start with the very, very basic. So very first formula is you start with some kind of information data. So meditation is a wonderful thing for stress release, and there are 3 keys to meditation. Key number 1 is being able to have the right posture. How many people would agree with that, right? Okay, posture is very important. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Now, so that's data. Yes, it's information, yakking. Yes? Of course, you can do it in certain ways. You can get call-outs. You can use suggestology. You're going to do all those things anyways. But you're going to give information. Yes? I can't hear you. Yes? Yes. Now, then what's the next thing you do? What did I have you do? What was the next thing I had you do? What kind of exercise? There you go. Written exercise. Written exercise. This is your basic format here. Written exercise. What did I have you write down? What you thought the basic... I just made it up right there. Write down anything, okay? No matter, write down what you think, the 3... I said meditation was incredibly beneficial. Write down 3 benefits you believe people would have from meditation. Boom, just like that. 3 benefits, right? So you're going to be asking them to write down. You're talking about love in your program. Write down all the ways you believe you show people how you love them. You're talking about old age. Write down all the things that you are concerned about regarding old age right now. Write down 3 actions you're going to take based on the principle we just discussed. So it's a written exercise. What is it? Written exercise. Okay, good. Now, after they've done the written exercise, what are you going to ask them to do? You're going to ask them to do what's called what to say, please? A partner share. A partner share. So what was the first thing I asked you to do? I said what? Please find a partner. Then what did I say? No. Yeah, that's right. What is it? If you don't have a partner, stand up, wave your hand, raise your hand, whatever it is, and you can say touch someone else's hands who's got their hand up or whatever it is, right? So you're making sure that the partnerships are together because it's a full participation event. What kind of participation? Full. That means who has to participate? Everyone. The worst thing that can happen is you have somebody left out. You don't want that. That's why you have hopefully a couple of staff helping you. For sure, and if it was a small thing, then you would be the last partner. When I first started, I had learning annex events where there was like 30 people. Well, there's always see 31 people, right? And I find a partner and I go, 31 people, okay. And who's left? Okay, anybody not have a partner? You? Okay, come on up here, be my partner, right? Right? So everyone's always got to be included. Yes, it's your job to make sure that everyone has a what? Has a what? Thank you. Then once everyone has a partner, then what did I ask you? What? Choose an A and a B partner. Once you've done that, what am I going to say to you? Share what you wrote. And now I'm going to give you some instructions. Because I say share what you wrote. Usually, though, there's an instruction to it. And that, by the way, this also goes for the written exercise. I gave you a certain amount of time. Yes, I said 5, what did I say? 2 minutes? I said, that was for the sharing. What did I say? 30 seconds to write something down. So it depends on what, if you write all the ways you show people you love them, then you're going to give them 2 minutes, right? And then you might give them 2 minutes to share that or 3 minutes to share that, yes? So just make it appropriate for what you're talking about, what you're teaching. So now you're going to give them the time, tell them you're going to have 30 seconds each, and you're going to, then they're going to have a question. Well, do I switch after 30 seconds? What do I do? So you're going to tell them, right? And you're going to say, in this case, you're going to say, I will tell you when to switch. Are instructions important? Yes or no? Why are they important in this particular methodology of teaching? Because as you're going to see, you're constantly involving them. You're constantly asking them to do things, which means you're constantly giving them instructions. You have to be better at giving instructions than just talking data. You have to be very good at giving in. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because you're constantly doing. You're going to show you the basic format, and you're going to see you're constantly telling them what to do. Do this, go there, put your chairs here, take them over here. Who doesn't have this? Go to that, go here, move there. Yes? Because it's an experiential event. Yes? You're constantly doing that. You have to get good at it. Say, I'm getting good at that. Okay, good. I'll tell you when to switch. Then you tell them. Then you have to tell them who starts, A or B. Yes? Or you can tell them, choose whoever you want to start, but tell them. Right? And then every single time, what time? Every single time. Tell somebody else, what time? Every single time. There's a partner share at the end of the complete partner share. Then you have them what? Thank their partner. Always acknowledge what's going on. Thank your partner, please. Okay. Then, what did I do? After you did the partner share, then what was the last thing I did? That's right. We call that a class share. What's it called? Yeah, I don't call it a group share because I find I put people into groups. So I don't call the class is a class and little groups are little groups. A group share would be the group is sharing. Class share means a whole class is sharing. Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Right. And what do? I asked, who would like to share what you wrote? Who would you like to share what you shared, right? Or who would you like to share what you wrote down? Or who would like to share what you learned? Who would like to share anything you validated about yourself or other people? Whatever question you want. Basically, you're still giving the same instruction. You're still working with what they wrote down, then they shared it. Now some people are going to share what they wrote down. Or some people are going to share what they learned. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So I say, who would like to share? Look at my hands. They're out like this. So when I want something, what do? I put my hands out, right? So I'm asking for it. And I'll stand there. Now, if nobody puts their hand out, I'll say, it's very helpful for everybody if somebody's willing to share. Who'd be willing to share with us? Who's the first person? Come on. And I'll ask for it. And someone's always going to share. And if you're really getting in trouble and you really want to share, then say, you might as well volunteer before I pick somebody. So who's going to do it, right? Who's got the courage in the room? Someone will always answer to that one. Say, who's got some courage here? Someone will always raise their hand because say, look, I want to show you. This is a made model. So when you notice when you're doing that, I got my hands out here. And let's say someone over there puts up their hand. Go ahead. So I'm going to take a share from over there. Where am I going on the stage? Thank you. Going to the farthest place. Now here's how I do it. I check in with my eyes over here. And you don't have to do it this way, but I check in. I usually go like this with one hand, and I go across like that to the other. So it's very quick and very subtle. I'm walking. And by the way, I haven't said to her yes yet. I haven't chosen her yet. Because I don't want to turn my back. I don't want to go yes and then go. Right? So I already know it's coming from over there. I start walking. I go like this. And I go, yes. I go like this, right? See that? So I've got everything covered right here. Yes or no? Yes. See that? And it's very, very quick and very subtle. Okay. Say, I can do this. I can do this. Say, I can do this. I can do this. Point to somebody, say, you can do this too. You can do this too. All right. Now, after they've shared, right? After they've shared, where do I come? Back to the middle. Now, if I'm still talking with them, by the way, where do I go? I go over here. Here's the rule. When I'm talking to one person, I'm as far away from them as I can get. When I'm talking to everyone, I'm in the middle. Okay, that's the rule. It's going to serve you well. When I'm talking to one person, where am I, middle or side? Side, because I want to move to the opposite side, yes? When I'm talking to everyone, where am I, middle or side? Middle. Middle. So I'm just letting you know that on the class shares, and at any other point in time, when someone is standing and sharing, you are on the opposite side of them so you can open up the room to everybody else, yes? And so you want to make sure you get stabilization. So in other words, when there's a class share, I'm generally, if it makes any sense at all, I'm going to say, I'm going to come back to the middle, right? I'm going to say, how many other people learned the same thing? How many other people felt that way? How many other people noticed the same thing? Oh, noticed that too. Yes? What did I do? I just brought everybody into that same understanding. Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Okay. After they've shared, what I'm going to ask you to do? Give them a hand. Acknowledgement. Give them a hand, right? So here's the deal. You're going to give them some information. You're going to give them a written exercise. You're going to ask them to share it in a partner share. You're going to do a class share. That's your format. Now, the beauty of this format is that it's a full involvement format, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So generally, if you'll notice in most of my programs, other than the drilling, which is part of the what? The drilling is part of the what? Like, I asked you to do the introduction. I gave you, we did call outs and everything. We went through the template. Yes or yes? Yes. You guys remember this? Yes or no? Yes. Went through the template. Then what did I ask you to do? I asked you to write out an entire introduction. Yes, your script. Right? And instead of doing a partner share with one person, I had you share it with 2 other people, didn't I? Yeah. The drill. Then what did I do? Had you have all the chairs back in here and come back for what? And you'll notice I do this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Because that's the basic format. Say, wow. Wow. This is easy. This is easy. I can do a one-day workshop. With 1 hour of data. And it's going to be a better workshop. This is cool. Isn't it? Because it's not the data. You understand? It's not the data that's going to make your workshop. It's the experience. And I'm going to say this right now. There's a couple of things I'll go back to. But let me bring it up right now. This is the way almost all speakers work. What do they think? Me, the star. We work very differently. Who's the star? Audience. The audience is a star. So what that means is this, is that basic format of involving the audience will always do better than you can no matter who you are. No matter how entertaining. You could do backwards somersaults with flips and twists in the air. You could be the world's greatest eloquent speaker, and yet if you can get those guys in there to share what they wrote or to partner share how they're feeling for 1 minute, that will far exceed their enjoyment and learning in the program than you being Mr. Somersault King. Yes, does that make any sense, yes or no? Yes. I'm going to say this again. Yes, you want to be entertaining. Yes, you want to be a great trainer. No, a great speaker. That's just a given. Them sharing one time, their writing one time, them as a class share one time will outdo anything you can do on that stage. Because they don't really care about you. They do and they don't, but they don't. They care about them. And the best, if you want to be, one of the things we do is we promote this, right? Yes or no? Yes. No. What's the word, please? Yes, because you know what? They can read a book for that. They didn't come live for that. That's a given right there. But if it's not entertaining for them, they might as well just sat home and listened to a tape or in their car or read a book. Do you understand, yes or no? Yes. Now, tell me, what is the absolute best entertainment you can give them? Thank you. Themselves. You say, you talk to them and you talk to them, they're going to be so entertained because they get to talk. There's no way you can compete with that. All right, so this is our basic format, and sometimes we might put a little zinger in there. For example, we might put a game up in front or an exercise up in front, or throw people into something, and then we'll debrief it, and then we'll do the data, then we'll do the written, then we'll do a partner share, then we'll do a class share. Okay, same thing. Now, again, I'm going to say to you that what's the beauty of this methodology? Who can tell me what's the beauty of it? It's simple. What else? It works. It works. What else? It allows you, first of all, you don't, raise your hand if you're a little bit nervous about presenting, especially your first time. Raise your hand if you're a little concerned about, Hey, Harv's talking about not just one topic, several topics, about creating like 1-day and 2-day workshops, all over the place. Yeah. This is your format. If you take a look at the data, you might, let's say, have 5 minutes of data, a 2-minute written exercise, 3-minute share each, and 5 minutes of class sharing. So 5 minutes of data, then you got 2 and 6 is 8, and 5 is 13. 5 minutes of data, 13 minutes of process, where you're not doing anything. Except for over here, you're going, this is the big one over here, class share. Number 2. Principle number 2. So, how many people think this is cool? So you don't have to be nervous. You know why you don't have to be nervous in this process in this way? Because the heat's not on you, it's on them. The pressure's not on you, it's on them. You can come into a program, literally, if you want to do a 1-hour program, you can come in with 15 minutes of data, and you'll have a fantastic program. Got it? 15 minutes. 3 principles. Spend 3 minutes, 4 minutes talking about each, then put them into the exercises. You're going to have the best program in history. You want to do a whole day? Well, you might need another hour, hour and a half of information there. Play a game for 20 minutes, that takes... You understand what I'm saying? And your training will be 10 times better. So this is the format. Everyone give somebody a high five and say, this is cool.